This team, man, what can you do? Of course, and it's a mirror. Of course, I'm not the only one using this right now. All right, let's see if I can win the mirror. The Toronto Regional Championship just happened this weekend. In fact, I was there. And I think we all knew going into the event that rain was going to be a team composition that players had to take very seriously and that had a real shot to win the whole thing. I myself was thinking about picking up a rain team for a while, kind of trying one out, seeing how it would go, though I ended up not using it in the end. But that's a story for a later video that I will make. I don't know. It'll be ready whenever it's ready. I had a great time at this event, and sorry, I don't know if you can hear the background noise. Not much I can do about that. I had a great time at this event, and a lot went into my thought process for it. So I'm going to put some extra effort into that video, and it'll be ready when it's ready. But this one's not about me. This one is about Wolf Glick, who won his 10th regional championship here in Toronto, and he did it with not just a rain team, but a very unusual looking rain team with, of course, the Parish Trap component. If you're watching this, you probably have seen the Wolfey Parish clip from Marco Silva, who ended up being his opponent a couple of times on the weekend, including in the final. And yeah, in the end, Marco was not ever able to solve Wolfey Parish, and Wolf Glick winning again with Parish Trap with some really cool and not often used Pokemon in this format. I have actually not watched very much of the tournament because I was there, but I was live in the crowd watching Wolf's top 4 set and then the final. Those are the only 2 that I caught in full. He only used 4 of these Pokemon in either one of those sets, so I don't necessarily know what the other 2 are for. The only ones I actually saw him use were Politoed, Kingdra, Incineroar, and Gothitelle. But, I mean, the modes with those Pokemon are obviously pretty straightforward. Politoed sets the Rain, and then Kingdra gets Swift Swim and is able to throw off strong attacks with Draco Meteor, Water-type Weather Ball, and Muddy Water. And Wolf was able to use that mode to punch holes in the opponent's team to set up for a safe Perish Song endgame. Or, if that didn't work in the early game, he could hold Kingdra back for the late game and try to get that sweep later on. Politoed, of course, able to set the Perish Song, make some plays with Encore, or throw off a lot of damage with Weather Ball itself. Then Gothitelle, of course, provides the trap part of the Parish Trap. It also set Trick Room against fast threats, which really turned the game on its head in some of his matchups. And, of course, being able to stall out with Fake Out and Protect is able to kill some of those Parish Song turns so that the Parish Song KOs actually go through. Incineroar, similarly, running Fake Out and Protect, as well as Intimidate and Parting Shot, so able to pivot around and make it harder for the opponent to break his team. I mean, Wolf talks up Incineroar is the best Pokemon in the game. If you watch him, you probably know what it does, but yeah, it's that much more difficult to get out of the Parish Trap when Incineroar is, or even to stop the Kingdra offense when Incineroar is playing its support role, opening up those holes, making the team harder to break. I never saw him bring Archaludon or Mungus to a game. My understanding is he brought Archaludon to Goldango matchups because, of course, Goldango is kind of a nightmare for Parish Trap, being unaffected by Parish Song and also just a very strong Ghost type. I don't know at all what the eject button of Mungus is for. There are probably some matchups that it's supposed to cover, especially with the relatively unusual Fairy Terra here. Obviously, in Trick Room, it can be disruptive with Spore, and it can help to keep Pokemon like Gothitelle, Politoed, and Archaludon healthy. So I sort of see the vision, but yeah, I don't necessarily know what matchups you bring it to. In any case, there's a reason Wolf is known for Parish Trap, right? He's the only player I know of who's had any significant tournament success with it. I have tried Parish Trap a little bit myself off recording, and I was very bad with it. And I think I'm going to have a difficult time with this team because it looks like a very difficult team to use. But my favorite player just won a regional with it in my hometown, so I don't want to let this moment just pass by without trying it out myself. Last thing, Wolf has not released his EV spreads on Patreon yet, so even though I am a Patreon subscriber, I don't have his spreads. And right now I'm still in Toronto for a while with very limited chances to record, so I'm not just going to wait a little bit longer. And honestly, that's just as well because, you know, Wolf makes his living making VGC content, and I respect his choice to temporarily paywall his EV spreads. The reason I don't often use his teams on my channel is that I don't want to accidentally leak something I shouldn't. So it's kind of nice that the decision of whether to use his spreads is taken out of my hands here. I have made up my own very simple spreads. I can guarantee that they're a lot worse than the ones that Wolf used. No question whatsoever about that. Even if I took all the time I wanted to try to optimize everything and figure out every little detail in these EV spreads, I'm still not going to be as good at that as Wolf Glick. So it's going to be difficult, but we're going to get on the ladder and give it a go right now. Yeah, I'm not in an ideal spot for recording right now, so things might be a little awkward, but I'm excited about this team and I don't want to wait. Normally, of course, I play until I lose 3 games. With this team, I could easily see that happening right away, so maybe we'll be a little bit flexible about the parameters of this video, but we'll see how it goes. Parastrap, of course, really hard to use, but the Kingdra Rain stuff could be a lot of fun in a game or two. Okay, ooh, they rejected open team sheets immediately. I mean, they know what I have, I would think. It's a Whimsicott, Hisuian, Typhlosion team, so manual Sunny Day, which is a little bit tricky, for sure. I kind of want to lead, I feel like, judging by what I saw Wolf do in those last 2 sets, I kind of feel like he would lead Kingdra Gothitelle here. Do I necessarily see the vision behind that? Some of it, I think, but not all of it. I wouldn't mind leading Kingdra Incineroar, but, you know, I don't want to give a, what's it called, not Defiant, competitive boost to the Empoleon. I think those are the 4 correct Pokemon, Kingdra, Gothitelle, Politoed, and Incineroar. I think you do lead Kingdra Gothitelle here, and you have the other 2 available to switch in. Doesn't mean I necessarily know the game plan, though. It is Whimsicott Incineroar lead, okay. It's not the worst position for Kingdra, but funnily enough, I do have to be alert to a Moonblast from the Whimsicott, especially since this is Terra Stellar Kingdra, so it has no way to turn the weakness off. I think 100% I protect Kingdra this turn, if I'm keeping it in at all. Because it's probably going to take a Fake Out more. Alternatively, no. Well, the alternative is Fake Out Whimsicott and attack Incineroar, but Whimsicott could have a Covert Cloak. Or, I mean, if Kingdra's getting faked out, I don't want to let it take damage for just no reason. I'm going to Psychic into Whimsicott this turn. Okay, Gothitelle gets flinched anyway. They did just go right for the Moonblast. I also could set Trick Room on a possible Tailwind. In fact, I think I want to do that next turn. I think I'm going to switch Kingdra out. So even though Kingdra might be the fastest Pokemon when I get Rain up later, I think Trick Room doesn't hurt me right now. And I'll bring Incineroar in. It comes in fairly safely here, and I can try to reset the position in a way that makes sense. Oh. They do set the Tailwind here, so the Trick Room would be nice to have. Unfortunately, they crit my Gothitelle with that knockoff, so I don't get any Trick Room, and this Tailwind is going to be a problem now. I think I have to go Politoed here and preserve Kingdra for later. I don't have any great attacks to hit this Whimsicott. Actually, if they set up the Sun from here, then if Politoed survives long enough, I can try to land a Fire Weather Ball into the Whimsicott, but I have to break a possible Focus Sash first, so I'm going to Fake Out. Actually, I'm not going to Fake Out. Am I going to Fake Out? Again, I don't know, it's so difficult. I say that I might actually want them to set Sunny Day, but can I get the rain back up after that? Maybe. Okay, if I can, like, Parting Shot, pivot, get Politoed back in somehow. I'm going to knock off the Whimsicott and just throw a Weather Ball at the Incineroar. They protect, okay. Incineroar U-turns. This Weather Ball could do a lot of damage to a Typhlosion or Ursaluna, but instead we see Empoleon. It still does a lot. I probably have more special attack investment on this Politoed than it needs. That Empoleon is so hard to deal with, though. I think I might have to... I can't Parting Shoot it because of competitive. But I might have to Terrastallize Incineroar so I can keep Incineroar on the field against Empoleon for now. I feel like I have to remove Empoleon if I'm going to try to win with Kingdra in the back, so Even though I want to break this Whimsicott's possible focus sash, I think I double into Empoleon here. There may also be a position somewhere in this where it's best that I click Perish Song just so my opponent can't sit on the field forever, but... Okay, we get Empoleon nice and low. Now I'm not worried about Kingdra being able to beat it. Their Incineroar is going to be a problem, obviously. It's the last turn of Tailwind. I can double Protect here. And then if it's not fast Incineroar, but it might be. But I feel like I have to try to get Kingdra back in here. I'm going to Weather Ball Incineroar. Hope that I just remove that. Okay, Terra Grass. So not just removing it. And they get a knockoff into Kingdra. That's really bad, I think. At least I won't be taking Life Orb damage from here, I guess. But now I don't have any good attacks into Incineroar except Draco Meteor. I'm going to go Muddy Water. Maybe I get an accuracy drop. And I'm going to bring my Incineroar back in. That lets me set the rain back up when it ends here. It does also give them competitive, but hopefully this Muddy Water KOs Empoleon. It does. It doesn't do much to Incineroar. I do get the accuracy drop. I lose my Incineroar, which I kind of saw coming. Now I get rain back up. Of course, they can click Sunny Day, but there's not much else I can do at this point. Yeah, they just click Sunny Day, and I think they just win. Is it time to Draco Meteor the Incineroar? If they click Sunny Day, then maybe I can KO Whimsicott with the Weather Ball and get 2 KOs here. Okay, no, the Incineroar... I knew the Incineroar was too bulky to just be knocked out there. I don't know why I said that. Actually, I could have Weather Balled into Incineroar. That might have made more sense. I'm going to protect Kingdra because I think they're going to Moonblast it, and... Yeah, I still want to remove Politoed. I still want to remove Whimsicott if I can. I do also have the Fire Weather Ball into Incineroar now, so that's a silver lining to my rain being turned off, but of course it makes the speed control tougher. That Flare Blitz did so much to Politoed. So, yeah, it's pretty bad here. I think I just lose to Typhlosion. Do I have anything here? I can Draco Meteor Incineroar. Well, no, Typhlosion probably just knocks my guys out before they get to do anything. But let's assume that it doesn't do that, because that's my only out. I can Weather Ball Incineroar with Kingdra. That also is Weather Ball. And I'll just try to get damage on Typhlosion, but I think I just lose to this. Okay, Politoed goes down. Kingdra doesn't, so we will take out the Incineroar. But yeah, the Typhlosion did too much damage, so Kingdra's just going to get knocked out here. Alright. Well, I mean, I tried, but yeah, it's a hard team to use, huh? And Gothitelle getting crit there was a pretty big problem. Okay, this is for pretty standard rain, the Mousehold version. So Kingdra can potentially go pretty crazy here. I feel like it's the same 4 Pokemon again. I don't know if this is the matchup that Amoonguss is for, but I don't necessarily see that vision right now. Mousehold actually could be a bit of an issue, but if I have Incineroar and Kingdra in rain, then it should be manageable. I'm gonna do the same mode as last game. Maybe I'm defaulting to it because it's what I saw Wolf using mostly, but we'll see. Okay, no rain on the field yet. I can fake out and Draco Meteor or Chaladon. I feel like Basculegion isn't threatening to KO anything immediately. Alternatively, I can get Politoed in. Try to play toward a Perish Trap on the Archaladon early. I might have to Terrastallize Politoed to pull that off. Even then, I'm not sure it works. I'm going to try it, though. I'm going to switch Politoed in for Kingdra, fake out Archaladon. I realize I'm almost certainly giving it a stamina boost. I mean, yeah, on this team they definitely have stamina. But I'm not trying to beat it with physical attacks anyway. Boosting body press isn't ideal, but our Chalodon has enough offense already without that. I think it's okay. The Basket Legion staying in is kind of not what I was hoping for, because of course being a ghost type, it can switch out even if I try to get the Perish Trap going, but I'm just going to go right for the Terra on Politoed, click Perish Song, and go for Trick Room with Gothitelle. And hey, even if this doesn't work, maybe I'll learn something about how I'm supposed to be playing this, right? I feel like using kind of out there... It turned off its... but I didn't get a Perish Song up. It turned off its water typing, so if I'd gotten the Perish Song up, it would be trapped, but I think I just played myself here, because I also set Trick Room when a Kingdra in the back. Yeah, I feel like using these Wolf teams is such a learning curve. Hopefully I'll get something out of it, you know? But case in point, that turn 1 or 2? That turn 2 went terribly for me. That was actually pretty smart though. Just Terra Water, probably Choice Band, Rain Boosted Wave Crash. Doesn't matter that it's resisted. They just send it and Politoed can't take all that damage, at least with the EV spread I have. I think Wolf's is probably bulkier than what I'm running. Is there any way to pull this back? I don't think this is it, but... Hey, you knocked out Basket Legion at least. Gothitelle consumes the berry and is still below half. See a Moongus. It is Safety Goggles and Incineroar. I can protect Gothitelle and like Parting Shot or Chalodon, but to what end? Or I can knock off a Moongus this turn and consider a Parting Shot next turn. Either way, I'm getting Kingdra in Trick Room. I might have to look for like a double protect with Gothitelle. I think I am going to knock off and protect this turn. They'll probably try to remove Gothitelle or at least put it to sleep. The protect will deny that. But yeah, I can't really see the vision for the rest of this game so far. Oh, they went for Pollen Puff. Okay. Does that mean that our Chalodon is attacking Incineroar? Yes, but Incineroar tanks it. So far, okay. If they're just going for Pollen Puff, then maybe I can try to Psychic Amoonguss. If they're not clicking Spore, you know? I'm actually not eager to Parting Shot now, though, because it brings Kingdra in probably on the Electro Shot. So I think what I do here is I sack Incineroar, and then I can protect Kingdra next turn. Then I'm not in Trick Room anymore, but it's also not Rain. But they're probably not like max speed or Chalodon. So I think it'll be a okay. Wait, what am I doing? That wasn't correct. I meant to knock off our Chalodon. Oh well. This might actually work better. Don't quite get the KO on a Moongus. Lose Gothitelle. Okay. Alright, but the Kingdra in here. Try to knock out a Moongus. Kill the last turn of Trick Room. Okay. Amoonguss is gone. Our Chalodon is +5. I've already used my Terra, not that it matters. Okay, and then the mouse hold probably is Follow Me. So the only way I win this is if I'm extremely lucky with Muddy Water. So, alright, that's the out. We'll play toward it. I also guess I also had to be lucky with the opponent's Population Bomb. Okay. 2 games, 2 losses. I don't know how Wolf does it. That's why he's the GOAT. And we move on. Although both games I fell behind because the Pokemon went down more quickly than I anticipated, so again, it might be different if I had Wolf CVs. Who's to say? Okay. But also just if I had his game knowledge. Okay. Psi spam. Very Psi spam. Probably Tail Room. There's a Sneasler. Probably Psychic Seed on Burden. The Primarina is kind of interesting, I guess. How do I beat... Excuse me, how do I beat Psi spam? I mean, Incineroar is very strong into it. Gothitel's kind of reasonable, actually. This team doesn't have weather unless it's Sunny Day Whimsicott, which I guess it could be. Is Chaldon good into Psi spam? I don't know that it is. I kind of want to just do this in the lead and see if Kingdra can punch some holes early. Okay, it's Indeedee and Sneasler, so that's an issue for that plan. Gonna protect Kingdra on a... Oh no, it's not gonna click Fake Out on Psychic Terrain. So I'm not gonna protect Kingdra in a possible Fake Out. What am I gonna do? I'd like to remove the Sneasler. I think I'm gonna Muddy Water and... I mean, I feel like they double into Kingdra this turn, right? And I don't really want it taking all that damage. I'm actually gonna switch Kingdra out to Gothitelle, I think. And go right for a Perish Song. Side Direclaw? Did they misclick? What happened? Okay, we protect here. We'll see if the Sneasler has a dark move. They'll probably try to remove Gothitelle if they can. If it doesn't have one, or... What is Gothitelle's Terra type? I actually don't remember. Oh, that's tricky. Terra Dark is tricky against Sneasler. But the point is, I might be able to keep Gothitelle around long enough to get through these turns and successfully pull off the Perish Trap here. Especially if they're targeting Politoed with the Dire Claw there. Actually, it might have been worth going for the double protect with Politoed. Instead, I lose it here. Yeah, that's probably not great. If we do get rid of Sneasler, we'll get rid of Indeedee as well. Possibly with Muddy Water, depending on what they send in. So the Perish Song might not end up mattering that much. It's Gallade. I'm honestly thinking about letting Gothitelle go down to the Perish Song here instead of switching Incineroar in on a possible Sacred Sword. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to Psychic into Gallade and Muddy Water. Oh, they go Leaf Blade into Kingdra. It doesn't KO. So Gothitelle removes Gallade before going down to the Perish Song. What's their last Pokemon? If it's Primarina, I probably lose. But if it's anything else, that is Primarina. Okay. It might still not be impossible. It's the last turn of Rain. I'm going to try Fake Out and Stellar Weather Ball into Primarina. Air Water. Oh, it's still Psychic Terrain. The Showdown visuals mess me up sometimes. The rain is right there clearly on my background, but the Psychic Terrain is not. Was there a way to win that? Maybe if you know what? I think I might have been able to win that if I Terastallized Incineroar instead of Kingdra. Because I think it might take that Hyper Voice and then land a knockoff. So that one might have been possible. It certainly was the best game so far. I am going to play until I win at least one, I think. Oh yeah, this is a lot more difficult than most tournament winning teams that I've tried on the channel, and I guess it's no surprise considering what it is and who built it. Porygon 2, okay. Tail Room. I don't know how real Kilowattrel is. I know some people are using it, but in my experience it's just not that strong. I guess that doesn't mean I should take it lightly in a matchup like this. It also could have competitive. I don't know how many of them run that. Versus Wind Rider. Wind Power, excuse me. team also doesn't have weather, so Polytoad Kingdra lead could be, again, reasonable here. I also don't hate leading Incineroar and a possible Porygon 2, but again, I have to be alert to the competitive Kilowatt roll if that's what it is. I'm going to do Polytoad, Kingdra, Incineroar, Gothitelle. I still haven't brought either of the other Pokemon, but hey, like I said, I never saw Wolf bring them either. Okay. So our Chaladon is obviously pretty dangerous. I genuinely think my play here might be just Terra Grass Perish Song immediately, or like after these protects on the possible fake out. I'm giving it an Electro Shot boost immediately, which isn't great, but yeah, I think I'm just going to go right for Weather Ball into Incineroar and Terra Grass Perish Song. Switch out, Porygon 2. Okay, how much is that going to take? Also, does this mean I get to trap it? Okay. Now I'm going to switch right to Gothitelle, I think. Hopefully that'll be okay. I mean, I feel like attacking the Kingdra slot is kind of obvious here, but... Or I could... No, I think this is fine. I'm going to go for a little Weather Ball into Porygon 2. Preserve the Protect on Polytoad for now. Okay, they do switch Porygon 2 right out, so I don't get to trap that. Oh my god, that did too much. I don't think I'm getting to trap anything for very long, but I do get the KO on Incineroar here. Porygon 2 is back. Can I fake out or Chaladon this turn? Or does that just mean the KO Gothitelle? I'm gonna try. Live and learn, right? Weather Ball into Porygon 2. Ice Beam does not KO Gothitelle. Okay. Alright. Protect. And switch to Incineroar. If our Chaladon knocks it out before going down, I think I can live with that. I think I can win with the Rain Mons in the back. They recover with Porygon 2, which I don't love, but I do get rid of our Chaladon. They only have 2 Pokemon left. I still have 4, and it's Porygon 2 and Ursaluna. There might be a way to get the Perish Song back up, but it's really difficult, obviously. Also, Ursaluna could protect here. While they try to set Trick Room. I'm actually going to click Trick Room with Gothitelle. If they go for Trick Room, then I reverse it immediately. And I'm going to switch to Polytoad. Is that what I want? Actually, I'm going to Parting Shot Porygon 2. I think Ursaluna protects. Yes. Okay. Get Polytoad in here. Get the Rain back up. Yeah, okay. The Trick Room works. Okay, this is doable. Do I Weather Ball Ursaluna or do I Perish Song? Well, hold on. Let me think this through here. Let's suppose they knock out both of my Pokemon this turn. I get Incineroar and Kingdra in, protect. Or do I switch to Kingdra, Perish Song? Potentially they knock out both my Pokemon, Gothitelle and Incineroar. I don't think I have a guaranteed win with Perish Song. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm going to play as if I don't. And that means I'm going to Weather Ball Ursaluna. And that might have been wrong. It's faster? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter then. All that, and I probably lose here. Maybe not. Fake out Porygon 2. Weather Ball Ursaluna. And that doesn't KO, and I lose, judging by the fact that the game ended. That one... Was there a way to win this one? It really felt like I was in the driver's seat for a little bit there. I think my Politoed spread is definitely just wrong, but I don't know what the right one is. Also, if their Pokemon were faster than Politoed, then I actually needed to let them get Trick Room up. And on a Tail Room team, maybe I could have anticipated that Ursaluna would be faster, but... yeah, there's not that big a difference in base speed, so I guess if they're invested in speed... But they must not have thought they were faster either if they tried to set Trick Room in the first place, unless they were trying to deny my Trick Room, but I don't think that's what they would be doing there. But yeah, I felt pretty good about reversing their Trick Room immediately, but I actually think that lost me the game. This team, man, what can you do? Of course, and it's a mirror. Of course, I'm not the only one using this right now. Alright, let's see if I can win the mirror. I'm gonna bring our child on. It's finally time. And, Gothitelle? I think so. Okay, we had the same lead idea. Am I running max speed Kingdra? I don't remember. I don't think I am. I think I'm 252 modest. But I'm just gonna send it and see what happens. Protect, okay. And then the Perish Song will just make things interesting for both of us from here. Actually, if I get Gothitelle in right now, is there a way? Maybe I'm just losing Gothitelle to this, but... no, the Kingdra's faster than Politoed, so Encore is probably just going to lock it into an attack if I click that now. They go to their own Gothitelle. So if the trap stays intact, then we'll be trading Politoed for Kingdra here, which I think is not the worst thing, especially when they still have their Politoed in the back, so potentially they can set Rain for me. Which Gothitelle will fake? I don't need to fake out. I can just protect Gothitelle. And Weather Ball. Fake out Politoed. Okay, so I could have faked out their Kingdra, but they missed Muddy Water, so it's fine. And we'll just double into the Gothitelle slot in case it switches, or you know, a chance to KO their Gothitelle would be kind of cool too. They knock out my Gothitelle with a crit. But I do pick up their Gothitelle, and then trade Politoed for Kingdra. Unfortunately, there's only one turn of Rain left, and since we both are bringing in our last two Pokemon here, they won't be setting it back up for me. We both brought the same Pokemon. I think... I just double into their Archaludon here, but how exactly do I do this? My instinct is like Dragon Pulse and Stellar Draco Meteor. I could also Electroshock Politoed, but I feel like my best bet here is to try to remove the Archaludon if I can, so that's what I'm going to do. They go Terra Electric, so I should have Weather Balled it for more damage, but it's not a bulky Archaludon anyway, it's an offensive sturdy one. Are they going to knock out Kingdra here? Yes. But I get the Dragon Pulse. Now, unfortunately, I can't Electroshock Politoed in one turn. And of course it has Protect. But my play might actually be to click Electroshot, take a hit, live with the Protect the next turn, and then hit back with a boost. No, I think I always do more damage if I just attack it twice. Okay, well... That crit didn't matter because I was not 2-hit KOing Politoed anyway. So, man, can't even win the mirror. Is this the same opponent from before? It is. You know, I might not play this out until I win one because I feel like when I'm repeating opponents, that's usually a sign to stop. Let's see. Whimsicott, Ursaluna. Is it Tailwind or is it Sunny Day? Probably Sunny Day, right? I would think. Yeah. Kingdra is still faster, which is what I was trying to check there. Drops to a Blood Moon, does some damage along the way, but we're not getting rid of... Oh, we might get rid of Ursaluna this turn. It's a Life Orb set. Of course it is on this team. Okay, traded Kingdra for Ursaluna. Normally that would be a sentence that would feel good, but with this team, I don't know, man. Getting Cineroar in on Typhlosion. Okay. That's kind of nice, I think. Just going to right for a knockoff into that slot. And I would like to land this Weather Ball on Whimsicott if I can. I don't think Eruption is going to one-shot anything, no. They don't even take too terribly much. Knock Whimsicott down to its Sash. KO Typhlosion. What's last? Doesn't matter, they forfeit. Alright, so can I play Perish Trap? No, I still can't, but playing this team a little more conventionally this game. Trading the Kingdra for the Blood Moon Ursaluna, which does pay off because Blood Moon Ursaluna is so much stronger, right? I wasn't sure that was a favorable trade because this team has limited resources at all times, and we've seen what can happen with it when my Pokemon go down early, but in this case it worked out because we removed that threatening attacker, and then what they had to work with after that was Typhlosion, and I was able to shut that down with Incineroar. So that's a very typical way for me to win a game. It's not really showing the strengths of Wolfey Cone Perish, but you know what? I can't do that because I can't be Wolfey Cone Perish because I'm not Wolfey. There's a reason that he's the GOAT, right? There's a reason that he's the player I look up to who got me into VGC in the first place, which is why I'm so excited to use his team, or was so excited. Now I have used it, even though it is an absolute nightmare to try to figure out how to pilot it. If you're trying this team out, good luck to you. It is really difficult, and I'm not sure anyone else could win a regional with it. I feel like I've shown just how good a player Wolf is by trying to use his team here. But, I mean, obviously, after watching that live in person, I had to give it a go, right? And that was it. That was the team. Back to, I don't know, whatever is next.